And what up, and welcome everybody. Welcome, man. Listen, this is Pnoid News. Man, look, all right, I had a damn good internet connection. I had like 34 fucking megabytes of upload. I'm like, fuck this. We jamming out before this motherfucker today. Jesus Christ. We're over here getting it the fuck done. Real shit. But yo, man, listen, fucking, I want to welcome everybody out of here to the motherfucking chat and shit, man. Fucking Tennessee Marine, Gaming and Yelling, Dan the Defiant, Fish Smell, Ballistic Zero, TK Mal, man, Adam Hearts. What up, fam? How the fuck are y'all doing, man? It's nice to see y'all out here today. But yo, look, all right, it's that time of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's time for the fucking Duce. So I was standing here and, you know what I mean, motherfuckers was telling me I need to stream, blah, 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 blah. So I decided, or telling me I need to make videos. I've been busy with my kids the past 2 days. I'll be honest with you, all right? I've been busy in the one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest the past couple of days. I've been out here lighting fires and, you know what I mean, fucking burning shit down and fucking working in the yard and spending time with the kids. Eating turkey. I already done took some turkey and turned it into some motherfucking buffalo turkey sandwiches and shit. Man, look, you know, we getting it done. We getting it done. That's how the fuck we do what it is we do where I come from. You know what I mean? Man, listen, yeah, I switched to the live chat, man. Thank you, TK. Now, Adam Hearts is always looking for somebody to help him out with some motherfucking Photoshop work. Man, look, yo, I feel you, dude. Like, yo, I'll be honest with you. I use this program called what is it? It's Windows. Oh, it's oh wait. It's Windows Paint 3D. It's a great motherfucking joint. Now, I mean, Windows Paint 3D is the most amazing program and legit. It lets you do almost everything you can do in Photoshop, but on the same point, like, it's not as difficult. It's like for dummies and shit, because I'm a dummy and I'll be honest, I don't art. You know what I mean? But yeah, so without further ado, let us get to the motherfucking stories and shit for the day. You know what I mean? Like, so this here is a story from the BBC News. Yo, the top Iranian motherfucking scientist was assassinated. Mohsen Fakhrizadeh? I don't know. Iran's top nuclear scientist. So I'm gonna read y'all the article, you know what I mean, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I think is exactly going on. I have like two theories inside of my head about what the mentality is. It's one or the other. It's either it's a continuation of what's already been going on, or it's, you know what I mean, something else. So let's try this out. Iran's most senior nuclear scientist, Mohsen fucking Fakhrizadeh, has been assassinated near capital Tehran. The country's defense ministry has confirmed. Fakhrizadeh died in hospital after attack in Absard in Damad County. Iran's foreign minister Mohammad Javad Zarif has condemned the killing as an act of state terror. Western intelligence agency believed fucking Flem was behind a covert Iranian nuclear weapons program. If Iran ever chose to weaponize enrichment for Fakhrizadeh, Flem would be known as the father of Iranian bomb, a Western diplomat told Reuters news agency in 2014. Iran says that its nuclear program was exclusively for peaceful purposes, but news of the killing comes amid fresh concern about the increased amount of enriched uranium that the country is producing. Enriched uranium is a vital component for both civil nuclear power generation and military nuclear weapons. Trump asked about attacking Iran nuclear site. Iran's enriched uranium stockpile 12 times limit. After Trump, what will Biden do about Iran? Iran crisis, blah, blah, blah. So, in 2015 deal with 6 world powers, you know, the Iranian deal that they had going on, and Trump backed out in 2018. They started really, you know what I mean, ramping up their program as far as stuff is concerned. Okay, so here's kind of what the important part of this is. In a statement on Friday, Iran's defense ministry said its armed terrorists targeted a vehicle carrying Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, head of the ministry's research and innovation organization, after a clash between a terrorist and his bodyguards. Mr. Flem was severely injured and rushed to the hospital. Unfortunately, the medical turns efforts to save him were unsuccessful. Minutes ago, he passed away. Well, that actually tells us a lot as far as stuff is really concerned, right? And that's kind of important and shit. Now, the reason why that tells us a lot about things, it's not World War. Did Americans pay for his assassination? Okay. So let's shit a month later. I feel you, man. I fucking feel you, dude. So anyway, Paint 3D, it's Photoshop without layers. Actually, you can layer Paint 3D. You can hit this magic button and it turns stuff into 3 dimensions, so you can layer shit, which is fucking cool. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, you don't have like the super duper controls to be able to like do all types of stuff. So it's not time for World War V. It's not time for World War III. It's not time for any of that shit. What this is, I think, there's 2 theories inside of my head, and I don't know which one's true. First theory is this. If you have Iran standing, or you had Saudi Arabia working with fucking Israel, it would make a lot of sense, right? Hang on, man. Sorry, man. Some stuff stuck. All right. Yo, fucking DJ Ronnie G. You know what I mean? What's going on? So, all right, here's what's going on. If Saudi Arabia was working with Israel, which, you know what I mean, they have been for the past 30 years or so, this would make sense just due to how it was carried out, right? Rather than this being a missile attack, which would have been the way the U.S. would have done it, right? U.S. would have bombed the motherfucker. We would have like fucking done something more diabolical. Israel, again, probably would have been on some poison shit. Saudi Arabia is more known for hands-on with the guns and the weapons and going in, you know what I mean, doing what they got to do. Now, if Iran's blaming Israel, I would believe it'd be Israel and Saudi Arabia. And the reasoning behind it is twofold. One is Saudi Arabia and Israel does not want Mr. Goatman. What up, man? Fucking, I'm nice to see you. You got no kuka loose. You got no kuka loose. You know what I'm saying? Waka flocka flamer. Yeah. So anyway, where the hell was that? All right. So here's the mentality. Saudi Arabia and Iran do not want, or Saudi Arabia and Israel do not want Iran having nuclear weapons, right? Because it's important to them as far as being powers in the region and maintaining peace and being able to sell oil however it wants. On the other hand, right, this could be a play by the CIA or the NSA to basically go, all right, well, Joe Biden's coming in, so we'll just go back to, you know what I mean, things as normal, and we'll drag the United States into a conflict. It might be a play on that type of situation. I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest with you, which of these it is. You know what I mean? And that's an important thing to understand, right? Because, you know what I mean, like, it's not World War, and there will be no World War, all right? No one's going to have a ground war in fucking Iran, all right? Iran is a very mountainous, shitty region to go to war in. It's a dumb place to go to war. As in general, it's just stupid. It's a dumb fucking place to go to war. Putting ground troops in is going to be stupid. You know what I mean? It's fucking retarded. So anyway, you know what I mean? That's my thoughts on this right here. I don't think it's a big deal. Iran may launch off some fucking, you know what I mean, bottle rockets or fucking Coca-Cola with Mentos in them or some shit. You seen what happened last time they tried to do some dumb shit. You know what I mean? They fucking ended up standing here, you know what I mean, getting on some nonsense and some retarded shit. Right? And that's, you know, that's just kind of dumb. You know what I mean? Like they don't have the power or ability to do shit. So, second story. This one's even funnier. Okay, so I found this story today. It was recommended to me on Google, and I wanted to bring it to y'all. Right. So I was standing here, and I was looking at this fucking. Hang on, let me get rid of this stupid fucking ad. Okay. All right, I have a new theory that I'm gonna give to y'all after this. Right, but. Instead of going, hey, you know, females going to college and going to work and, you know what I mean, like fucking them not having the time or ability to have children, giving the choice, women aren't going to have kids. The only reason they really have kids is so that they can be cared for by dudes, right? Because that's always been the way it's worked. They decided that the reason why women aren't having kids in Western civilization and in the United States and other, whatever, right? Is because their car seats are hard. Right? Like, yo, the reason they're not having that third kid is because car seats are hard. All right, so let's read this. All right, our car seat mandates responsible for reducing the number of children born each year. A provocative new study claims that the steady upward creep in the ages at which states mandate children use in the car seat is prompting women to either postpone or opt against having a third child. The paper by Jordan Nickerson of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that's MIT. MIT put this study out to show you how based scientists are. And David Solomon of Boston College argues that the most vehicles cannot fit a third car seat in the back row, necessitating the purchase of a larger car if a parent is going to cart around 3 children at once. That added cost, they argue, disincentivizes some women from having a third child. We find that when a woman has 2 children below car seat age, her chances of giving birth that year decline by 0.73%. Percentage points, right? Nickerson and Solomon, relying on U.S. Census Bureau data on the age and number of children for each woman surveyed. Oh, you sons of bitches. God damn it. Hang on. Right. Yeah, each woman surveyed. This represents a large decline. The probability of giving birth for a woman is 18 to 35 with 2 children already is 9.36% in our sample. To tease out the impact of car seat laws, the paper controls for a number of variables, including urban density, household income, and whether a male parent is present. As states increase the car seat age, the more pronounced this effect becomes. It's more likely that 3 children will simultaneously be required to be in a car seat. The nationwide average minimum age at which a child can ride in a car with just a seatbelt rose from just under 3 years old in the mid-1980s to 4-year-old by 2000. Today, the nationwide average is a few months under 8 years old. The study increase, the paper suggests, could help explain why fertility rates have declined in the past decade, despite a long-running economic recovery that would normally encourage more childbirths. These laws could also allow more children to live, of course, by saving their lives during car crashes. But the paper argues that the effect on birth rates is larger. The changes prevented only 57 car crash fatalities of children nationwide in 2017. Now, first off, the fact that everybody has to have their kid in a car seat till they're fucking 8 only saves 57 kids a fucking year. Patently ridiculous. All right, legitimately. Simultaneously, they led to a permanent reduction of approximately 8,000 births in the same year and 145,000 fewer births since 1980, with 90% of this decline being since 2000. Okay, let me put this way. All right. So we're all going to stand here, okay, and legitimately, I think we should all become anti-car seat activists, right? Oh, fuck. Oh, hold up, man. Retro supporter, man. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Here, let me give you a wrench, ad moderator. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Welcome. Yo, wait. Yo, that's their excuse now, right? So I think we should all be like, yo, what's up, freedom? Sitting at Alex Chung, man. Welcome, my brothers. Welcome. Retro supporter 93. Welcome, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Nice to see you, right? So basically what I'm going to say is this, right? We should all become militant anti-plastic seatists, all right? Legitimately, right? Like, yo, we should become militant anti-plastic seatists, all right? Because, like, yo, all plastic seats reduce the birth rate at some point, okay? How many kids sat in their balls in motherfucking school and shit? Victor Ram, what up, man? Welcome. You know what I mean? In these fucking plastic seats at school. Yo, I saw Bill Gates one time legitimately sat in a plastic chair. All right, they're working with the interdimensional space demons to try and motherfucking reduce the birth rate through using motherfucking car seats. That's what they're doing, all right? They're affecting our women by fucking putting in these car seat laws. Legit. Ralph Nader is responsible for more children dying or more children not being born, all right, legitimately, than like fucking all of porn, strippers, and motherfucking like fucking high heels to motherfucking testicles in the history of mankind. Like, yo. He said, yo, fucking Lavish Patch, because I don't understand how fertility rates are low while you can find a chick who isn't a single mom. Yo, fucking, yo, this is the dumbest shit ever. Legitimately, this is the dumbest thing I've fucking seen in a long time. Legit, the dumbest shit. Like, I don't even know how to explain, like, the level of fucking cognitive dissonance it takes, right, to get the fuck to this fucking point. Legitimately, you know what I'm saying? Yo, everybody gets a wrench in the chat, that way nobody gets silence. That's how this works out here. I'm a freedom of speech platform, you know what I mean? That's how the hell this fucking works. right? Legit. But we need to get out here and, you know what I'm saying, stand here and fucking, you know what I mean, start burning some car seats, melting them down. I don't do something, recycle them. You know what I mean? Legit. We need to motherfucking stand here and get rid of these car seats right now. We need to be militant anti-car seat people. Legit. It's fucking, it's goddamn ridiculous. This is the level of cognitive dissonance it takes to get here. It's fucking insane. Legitimately, it's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, man, like, yo, I wanted to bring y'all that story because, like, it blew my fucking brain when I found that shit. And I'm like, these motherfuckers legit worship women this fucking hard. Real shit. So anyway, I wanted to bring that to y'all, and then I want to bring y'all a new mentality. All right, this is a whole new mental about things. Okay, like fucking, you know how like we're all like out here like repeal the 19th and all this type of shit, right? So I wanted to stand here and show a couple of things, right? I thought it was kind of important to show these two things. This is urbanization by country, which means the amount of individuals who are living inside of a country, right? Or living inside of a city, right? In a country, okay? Now, see, here's the thing. When you start getting on this level of where you have a certain amount of your population who lives inside of a city, okay? Because like inside of a city, children are highly motherfucking whatchamacallit, you know what I'm saying? They're like, you know, they're a pain in, like they're more expensive. They're more like a luxury item than they are if you live in a country or have space to actually have them, right? I wanted to bring y'all this, and I wanted to show you some of this stuff, right? Because it's important. By the way, check out Puerto Rico. Fucking like, yo, Puerto Rico is fucking high up there on this fucking list, right? Israel, Netherlands, Argentina, Japan, right? Jordan, Luxembourg, Venezuela, right? You know what I mean? Western Sahara. All these places, right, that have like super high fucking, you know what I mean, urbanization rates. United States, right? You know, and things of this nature. France, right? Spain. There's something else that all these countries also have in common. Right? It's kind of, it's a crazy thing to think about. 57 Iran, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a bananas thing to think about because, like, you know, like a lot of people don't really look at this stuff when it comes down to it. Let's do this, right? And I mean, because I wanted to stand here and also show you the countries that have the lowest fertility rates. Go down to the bottom because it's listed from highest fertility rates to the lowest, right? So, wait, hang on a minute. Here we go. Okay, let's check this out. South Korea, Puerto Rico, Hong Kong. It's kind of looking kind of familiar. And it's looking kind of familiar a little bit. Isn't that kind of crazy how all these countries are also the top ones that are the most urbanized? And, right? Canada, you know what I'm saying? Bulgaria, Norway, Hungary, Slovakia, Thailand, Switzerland, and I mean the Netherlands, right? All these countries, right? United Kingdom, right? US, you know what I'm saying? Like we're kind of, all these countries, right, are kind of the same ones that we were just looking at a second ago, right? And I think it's important, you know what I'm saying, that like, we stand here and I mean, we recognize that this is kind of the same thing, right? In the end of the day. And I mean, when it really comes down to it, like, I'm not going to stand here and say that, you know, it's a 1-for-1 match because, like, you know, you have a lot of these countries where, like, you know, like Azerbaijan, you know what I mean, Jamaica, Syria, right? And all these other countries are on this list in the same point, right? Like I could actually probably like put both lists on screen. Let me try and make that happen for you, right? Hang on, man. Let me do that, right? Browser 4, right? See if I can here. Let me get this one. Do this way. Not caps lock, man. What? Man, listen, I should have prepared this a little bit better, but I wasn't super thinking about it. You know what I mean? That way we can see the things, you know what I'm saying, side by side and whatnot. And you can check it out for yourself. You know what I mean? That way you could sit here and, you know what I mean, have a look at these countries, which I think are highly important as far as understanding, you know what I mean, like, this is something that's been going on for a long time, right? Where the countries who are legitimately the most, oh wait, let's back up to the top, right? The countries who have the most amount of people living inside of cities are also the countries who have the lowest birth rate, right? Because the fact of the matter is that, down to the bottom, down to the bottom, down to the bottom, down to the bottom, down to the bottom. Here we go. All right. So, because the thing is that the countries who have, you know, I mean, the lowest birth rates, and the countries who have, you know, I mean, the worst places, or the most amount of people in them, or the most amount of individuals living inside of the cities, right, are kind of all going to be on that same thing, right? They're all going to be countries with the lowest birth rates, because of the fact that these countries here legitimately, and I mean, are the countries that are, you know, I mean, like, have, or it's the most expensive to have kids in, as far as stuff is really concerned. And I personally think we as humans actually have a gene inside of us, or not, I don't even want to call it a gene, right? I want to call it, like, you know, I mean, like, something inside of us says when there's too many of us in an area, like, for instance, when there's too many bears in an area, like, you know, they'll end up spreading out more, because human beings require a certain amount of space. Like, it is what it is. We're not made to be stacked on top of each other. I mean, just fact of life. You know, it's just one of them type of situations where people, I mean, I wish I could interact with both of these at the same time, but I cannot. Right? And I mean, it's one of those things where I legit think, see, look at this, man. Fucking there's Japan, right? Japan's up on top. It's one of those type of deals where I think that human beings are made in this manner when it comes down to it, right? Like, yeah, look, Luxembourg, right? It's really difficult to have this conversation legitimately. And I mean, it's very hard to have this conversation. And I probably should, like, tear all this apart and, like, you know, I mean, compare data and, like, show where each of these are in the list and things of this nature. But I wanted to put this idea out here that feminism isn't just the only cause of low birth rate, right? Like, you know, we all stand here and we go, oh man, you know, feminism's the part of, like, our society, or the part of our, you know, I mean, like, our main thing that causes, you know, I mean, low birth rates. And that's true, right? Feminism causes a lot of low birth rates. But on the same point, you have to have a conversation about individuals being stacked inside of a city, right? And urbanization has happened, right, through the industrial revolution, right? And that's, you know, I mean, it was bound to happen. Like, it was going to happen. Like, no matter what we did, that was going to be a thing. But on the same point, it was never going to be on the level of where it is today, right? Until, like, because it ended up leading up, because once you stack people inside of cities, they become more communistic. So they start telling each other how they're supposed to live. And when you have that happen, individuals will stand here and go, well, oh man, you can't put 3 kids inside of a 1-bedroom, or, you know, I mean, things of this nature. You'll start actually making rules to stop people from breeding inside of cities. And it's the actual urbanization that causes, along with the laws, that causes the destruction of a birth rate. You know, I mean, that's a lot of where, you know, I mean, my mentality goes to. Like, yeah, look, Bahrain, like, they're all, like, it's all kinds of fucking. I mean, but I wanted to show you all this, and I mean, I found this the other day, and I was thinking about it, you know, because I was talking with a dude, and I mean, and like, I was talking with a dude in one of my live streams, and he said, I mean, what do you mean urbanization causes that? And I was like, yeah, man, like, the more urbanized a country is, the lower its birth rate. And he said, there's no way. And I was like, he said, I never heard that before. And I said, well, I mean, well, here's the evidence. And I gave him the evidence after the live stream. And then I started digging into it, and it started looking more and more. And I mean, like, it was, you know, I mean, like a super duper fucking, like, link. And I think it's something that, you know, I mean, we should probably have a conversation about. Got somebody else, man? Fucking what? Here we go. Add moderator. Here you go. Have a motherfucking wrench, my brother. Have a wrench. Yo, like fucking like it is what it is. Yo, man, I gave him a wrench. I gave him a wrench, man. I gave him a wrench. PJ Luda, if all the people living, the first major step would be Mouse Utopia experiment. Yeah, there we go. Right, and that's kind of the deal. And I wanted to bring this to y'all, right? I mean, y'all can stand here and, you know what I mean, say whatever you want. You know what I mean? It's kind of the deal. Like, you can stand here and, you know what I mean, like, you know, you want to disagree with me, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always open for a conversation. I'm always open to learn new things. But it's something that I wanted to bring to y'all because I thought it was important. You know what I mean? Like, legit, I thought it was fucking important that, like, we have this conversation. Because every time a nation becomes more urbanized throughout history, doesn't matter whether it was Rome, whether it was fucking Greece, whether it was Persia, whether, you know what I'm saying, it was fucking, you know, the Asiatic societies, any of these things, it always ended up coming down to the point where people stopped fucking procreating. And this is the reason why, like, you know what I mean, like, Rome didn't have a military after a while. Greece didn't have a military after a while. Persia didn't have a military after a while. Because it, you know what I mean, yo, genetic diversity also has ties to lower IQ and offspring. Yes and no, DJ Luda. It depends on what type of genetic diversity you're talking about, right? Because, you know, like, fucking, it's the Middle Easterners who came up with fucking math and algebra. Like, gotta remember that. You know what I mean? Like, the Italians have the highest, you know what I mean, fucking IQ in Europe as far as, like, measured. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, that's really where it's at. You know, I'm not sure how to, like, really put this out here. So I'm just gonna put it out here as an evidence. You know what I'm saying? And I'll make sure, man, look, I'll make sure I get my wrenches out to my people. Everybody gets a wrench in my chat because everybody gets free speech. I don't want nobody ever silencing my shit. And I think that's kind of important, right? That's a new theory that I have. It's something that I've been looking into. The more urbanized a society is, the less agricultural society is. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted, you know what I mean? Like, you know, how do I put this? Like, the less kids you're going to have in that fucking society. And that's something that legitimately, you know, like, we have to have we have to be willing to have that conversation about that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's important. I mean, at the end of the day, like, that's an important fucking thing. You know what I mean? About being a fascist leader. Yo, accelerate, my brother. Yo, look, man, I don't know if you can hop on fucking stream. I'm debating on hopping over into general in my motherfucking Discord and telling motherfuckers, like, yo, if you want to join, you know what I mean? Because I got all the information out. Man, look, I don't even remember, like, I think I put the Duce. I think, what up, the Duce Thanksgiving Edition. That's my title is the Duce Thanksgiving Edition. How is that about being a fucking fascist leader and shit? Like, how the fuck does that work? Hang on, man. Fuck, I'm gonna hop in my motherfucking general and shit. There we go. All right, so if anybody wants to join, you know what I mean? What if you compare birth rates to tax rates? I don't think it would really match up, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? It might. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Because legit, like, all right, and tax rates are hard to measure in different places as well, which is a tough thing because, like, if you measure the U.S. tax rate, right, for instance, like, for the most part, it only comes up to the point of where they're standing here talking about, like, you know what I mean, like the federal tax rate itself, which leaves out the state and the local, right? If you add in the state and the local and shit, you know what I mean? Kind of a twist on, you know, yeah, fucking Michael Lester here, man. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? Add moderator. There you go. Have a motherfucking wrench. It's nice to see you out here. I mean, everybody gets a wrench in the motherfucking chat. Yo, I love how your stream's about being a fascist leader. How is that according to the title? It's about being a fascist fucking leader. Yo, the Duce, nigga. Like, yo, it's the Duce. Nigga, this is the fucking Duce. It's a gorilla taking a shit in the fucking woods. Like, yo, the fuck, how is that fucking the fascist leader, the Thanksgiving edition? Like, nigga, God damn it. Yo, accelerate. I'm a fucking general chat if you want to fucking talk, nigga. Fuck, hop the hell in there. Right? So, anyway. Western Colorado, you know what I'm saying? Nice to see you out here. Man, listen. Yo, look, man, I'm pretty sure that Trump is not gonna motherfucking win this election. Just to put that out there. I have more faith in the corporate state than I do anything the fuck else, because them cocksuckers, you know what I mean, have legitimately had their way in this country for the past, I don't know, forever. Like, leader used for the leader of the Italian fascist party. Oh, cool. Yeah, whatever, man. Look, man, yo, I just called it the Duce. All right, because I'm taking a deuce. That's what it is. This is my taking a shit on YouTube. Legit, this is what the fuck I do. You know what I mean? Like, you know, once a month or so, you know what I mean? I come on here and I do the deuce stream. You know what I mean? The deuce stream is usually some shit I do in the morning. I usually call it the morning deuce, right? But this is the afternoon deuce because it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I started at like 3:45 or whatever. So like I wasn't going to stand here, you know what I mean, and call it the morning deuce when it was the afternoon. You know what I mean? That's kind of the mentality I have at the moment. But anyway, right? Yeah. So anybody want to hop in the Discord? I'm in the general voice. And I mean, if you want to come and have a conversation with me and, you know what I mean, talk to me about some shit, tell me what y'all think about what I said. You know, you want to pick it apart, I'm with it. You know what I mean? But like the whole reason I brought it up is, you know what I mean, because I think it's a conversation piece that we can have. Understand something like, yo, I don't really have a belief since I got to where I'm at. Haven't logged into Discord, man. You should be logged into Discord. You know what I'm saying? Legit, you should be logged into Discord and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like fucking, if you're not in the Discord, man, listen, be thankful you get a notification of me fucking going live, because most people don't. And I mean, that's why the hell it is. Like, you know, I have 2,500 subs and, you know, 50 people show up on a live stream. I mean, it's not even that at this point right now. I don't think. I have no idea how many people are out here because I'm not looking at the second. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I missed the first 15 minutes of the stream. So I'm just going to go with my opinion is that you're right about everything, whatever it is.
So, all right. Here's what you missed. You missed the Iranian leader. I said, I think fucking Israel and Saudi Arabia are working together, or it's a ploy to draw the United States into a fucking conflict since Joe Biden's going to be president. And you know how that works. You know, I mean, Obama style fucking, you know, take 2 wars and turn them into 7.
When I looked at that assassination, I just thought it was a fuck you to Joe Biden, because he's going to re-implement the Iran nuclear deal. And he's like, fine, have at it. They're not going to have any scientists to do anything, but you can reopen that deal.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think, like, you know what I mean, legit, they sat here and, you know what I mean, like, the way it was done, because, like, they shot him, right? Like, they had, like, people attack the fucking convoy, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where it's at, moderator. John, let her now, man. Welcome, man. You fucking here, have a goddamn wrench. I don't know. Legit, I don't fucking know. Like, who's gonna actually win? As like, I don't actually. The way it was done is they attacked the convoy and they attacked the car. They attacked the security guards and went in with fucking small arms. That doesn't sound like a U.S. operation. You know what I mean? And it doesn't sound like. It sounds more like a Saudi Arabian. We sent in, you know what I mean, some fucking people.
Maybe
Michael Lester, when the fuck has fucking good beat out evil in politics? Like, name me a time. Trump was the first time in my lifetime I have ever seen a positive leader other than maybe Ron Paul in politics. Shit. Like, yo.
Well, yeah, like in America in our lifetime, right? At least running for president. I don't know. Most of the time when it comes to politics, you're looking at it like there's no good guys. It doesn't really matter who wins.
Yeah, that's kind of where I got down to. You know what I mean? Like, it don't. Kind of one of them. Nothing really matters.
Yeah, like, you know, we warned a million times, like, don't get too cozy with the Republicans just because they're forced to back Trump right now because he was widely popular and, you know, they care about getting elected. But like, look at how many GOPers are already ready to just disassociate with Trump.
Well, let me put this way, right? Let me put this in this manner. I went on Frank's stream. Actually, I went to Frank's stream and I sent in a couple of super chats because that's how I do what I do, right? Because I'm not allowed on these guys' live streams because I curse too much. Ooh, right? Anyway, so I stood here and I told him, I said, look, man, like, yo, these Republicans are rhinos, right? And I'm like, yo, no, right? Like, yo, they're not rhinos. Like, yo, these are Republicans being Republicans.
Yeah, that's the party we're used to. It's the old guard just showing its nasty face again.
Yeah, legit. You know what I mean? Like that's just is what it is. You know what I mean?
Like realistically, if we want to do something about this, that 73 million people that were part of the Trump coalition, you need to get 73 million people out at the midterms to start fucking voting in. I mean, I don't libertarians, populist, traditional conservative, constitutionalist conservative, like real ones, not ones that just pay lip service to it.
Yeah, I agree with you, right? I do.
And I think the biggest strategy, especially because you have a lot of people that are getting fed up with wokeness, is getting these liberals that are just like the left has left me behind to run in blue districts as liberal Republicans is what I would call them, right? Like get them, like they were part of the coalition. They were part of the people that went out and voted for Trump, right? They were your fucking Tim Pools of the world that said, fuck it, I'm voting for Trump.
Well, here's where I'm at, right? I think Trump got off a message, right? Like Trump didn't run on his message of anti-war, anti-fucking, you know what I mean? Like fucking bring the jobs back, you know, anti-fucking like free trade, anti-fucking immigrant. He didn't run on this type of bullshit this time. He ran on fucking Corona. And like legit, like that was a dumb fucking move because legit, he just stood there and put the ball in their court and let them do whatever the fuck they wanted.
I mean, I don't think it mattered. I think
it mattered.
You're not going to convince me that 80 million people legitimately voted for Joe Biden. It's not going to go anywhere in court. All these people that think the election is going to be overturned, they don't understand how big of a hurdle that is in our legal system. But
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I don't really think that the courts are going to overturn the fucking election. And if they do,
yeah, they're not.
You'll have people in the streets fucking rioting and burning the country to fuck down.
Like the appeals court just ruled on the Pennsylvania lawsuit, which it was a real simple lawsuit. It was just saying, well, there wasn't equal protection because Democratic counties, they were able to, they did a call and cure campaign, right? You can call and ask your ballot to be cured, while other counties didn't. And, you know, some technicalities in the laws, like curing's not mentioned anywhere. It's not even clear that the county has to do that, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, they're just saying like, so on the merits, we're going to do the least credulous thing possible. But then they also think about the remedies, and they're just like, and even if we gave it to you on the merits, the kind of relief you're asking for, it doesn't like match up to the damages or you're saying or the harm that was incurred. And that's just going to be the rulings across the board for all of these.
Okay.
Right. So, and statistical evidence, that's great for people like me. Like I can look at that and be like, yeah, okay, I can look at the numbers. Yes, that is statistically improbable to the point of being impossible. But that doesn't mean anything to a judge.
Yeah. Like the judges don't care. Right.
Yeah. Well, they just don't. They're just like, okay, well, something weird happened. Great. But like prove to me laws were violated. And that's much harder.
Well, here's the problem. Like, number one, unless you legitimately start finding people who sat there and stuffed the ballot box and then arrest these people, right? Charge them with the crime and convict them, right? And then you can go, this was a banana fucking election. This was, this was a fucking completely bullshit election.
Yeah, and that's a long process.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know Barr sent some people out there, but he sent the FBI out there. Like, none of these FBI agents are going to go out there knowing that most likely their new boss is going to come up and do anything that could possibly jeopardize or make his new boss look bad or seem illegitimate.
Okay, I gotta address somebody in the chat real quick. Sitting that Alex Chung, you said World War I was started after Serbian was attacked. Okay, well, let's talk about that real quick, right? Because that's an important thing when it comes down to it. And actually, Outquest ad moderate. There you go, man. Have a fucking wrench. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Okay, so let's talk about let's talk about what happened there with that World War I situation. at that point, legitimately, it was still the fucking, it was still the Turkish Empire, right? When the Turkish Empire, what the fuck was that called? Excel.
I don't have an answer.
Yeah, what the hell was the fucking thing called, man? Wasn't the Turkish Empire?
World War One.
What the fuck? The Ottoman Empire. There we go. It was the Ottoman Empire. All right. The Ottoman Empire was still a thing, but it was falling apart. And as the Ottoman Empire was falling apart, all of the countries that the Ottoman Empire fucking inhabited and had underneath of its borders, legit, they all fell in a civil war and, I mean, like disrest and things of this nature. And the assassination of, goddamn, I forget the guy's fucking name.
Yeah, no, I remember the guy's name, and that's what I was looking up. It was Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, like that dude legit, he was gonna die. All right. Like, yo, and he was holding together a society because he was next in line to become fucking like the king of Serbia or something, like the president of Serbia, something along these type of lines. And once he was go ahead.
I guess it was called Austro-Hungary back then.
It was the Ottoman Empire, right? But like legit, that was the fall of all that fucking bullshit, and the whole thing fell apart. And that's really what started World War fucking One, right? And that's kind of where that whole thing got down to. Like that had nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, like one guy getting assassinated, as more of the entire area was a fucking powder keg, and that's what set it the fuck off. And it was gonna set it the fuck off no matter what happened, right? Like, yo, okay, so Michael Lester, let me put it like this, right? I absolutely agree with you. I don't think it's gonna matter, right? Like, yo, real shit. I completely fucking agree with you. Utterly and completely agree with you. But it's not gonna matter. Okay? It really doesn't fucking matter. Because like, yo,
you're talking, yeah, I just read it, right? Say that Trump received 80 million plus votes. Joe Biden probably only had like 40 million.
Yep.
Right. Sure. Like I'm not ever gonna say this was legitimate. It's just everything points to bullshit. Just if you look at the number of people that voted for Biden, which if you normalize these votes for what you would expect, Trump would have won. But the people that just voted for Biden and nobody else, it was like something like 18% of ballots cast for Biden in swing states were just for Joe.
Okay.
The normal is like 3% of people don't vote down ticket. And you would actually expect, because these were all on mail-in ballots, right? You would actually expect the mail-in ballots to have more down ticket voting. Because, like, I mean, I understand if you go to a polling place and you fucking waited a long time, you get your ballot and you're just like, you know what, fuck it. This is the only race I really care about. So I'm going to vote for president. Mail-in ballot, you get all the time in the fucking world to, like, just Google whoever the fuck's on the ballot and vote for the person. Unless you're trying to fill out like 100, 200, 1,000 at a time, then you probably don't have time to do that. You just need to fill in Joe Biden over and over again.
Yeah. And that's kind of the deal, right? Like, all right, so let's put this this way, all right? But it doesn't matter, and that's the problem, right? It doesn't fucking matter. It has nothing to do whether or not it was right.
The way we set everything up, they get away with it. Like, there's no way for us. Like, even if they get caught, it's too late. The legal process does not work in a way where if an election happens and there's that many different instances, because it's not like it was like one person leading a cabal, right? It was just multiple people. They knew what they had to do. I mean, we just went 4 years of saying we got to get Trump out by any means necessary. And you don't think that's going to convince people to want to cheat to get Trump out of office?
Here's where I'm at. Okay. I don't think anyone's going to fight. Like, that's my thing, right? The only thing that would legitimately change this over is if real actual Americans like fucking stood up and went and, you know what I mean, like had an armed insurrection.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You'd have to have a Boogaloo.
Anywhere. Like if in any place in the nation, right, legit, like there was an armed insurrection and they legitimately started taking shit out and taking shit over.
Yeah,
then I would go, then I would go, yeah, man, these court cases are going to matter. But the fact that no one has and no one cares, they've pushed you far past the brink of where I thought you would let them push you to. Right?
Well, like, I mean, the real solution is you make sure in fucking 2 years that you show up and you keep bitching about this and you elect people that to your state legislatures that are going to come out and say, like, yeah, we're going to tighten up our voting laws. Like, we're going to have it written in law that this could never happen again.
But they're not going to do that.
Equine procedures have to happen.
They're not. They're not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if people don't, then you're never going to get another Republican president again.
You know, they're never going to do that. All right. See, here's the thing, right? Like, there's an understanding that I probably know about that a lot of people don't. Right? They have an understanding between, you know, I mean, peoples and shit. And basically, the understanding is this: if the Democrats are allowed to cheat, and they always have cheated. Like JFK was fucking elected by stuffing the ballot box. Like the vast majority of fucking Democratic presidents only won by stuffing the fucking ballot box since like FDR, right? If they're allowed to cheat, then the Republicans are allowed to stand here and gerrymander districts as much as they want to. Right? Like that's the fucking unwritten agreement that the two of them fucking have. Right? Yeah. And like yo, they don't fucking care. Like yo, and nobody fucking cares about this shit. People don't give a fuck. People don't give a fuck about their country. They're not willing to fight. They don't give a fuck.
We had the problem, which is why I mean I think the election was probably a lot closer than really what Michael Lester said, but it's low information voters.
Irate prostate, right. What up, man? Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Right. Hashtag motherfucking. You know what I mean? Hashtag fuck all plastic chairs. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's something that you missed too, by the way. They're now blaming car seat laws for the reasons why women aren't having kids.
I mean, is this just another? Does it fall in line with like something happened, but women most affected?
No. It's really simple. Women aren't having a third child because of car seat laws.
So you're thinking they're just like, well, I want another kid, but man, we'd have to get a different car because of the way the laws work, and we just can't afford to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
It seems a little suspect.
You know, I mean,
think women aren't having kids because they're growing up and being trained to be strong women, and then by the time they realize that they're lonely, want to settle down and have kids, their fucking vagina's past its prime, and it's just not so easy to get with somebody.
Well, let me put. I actually came up with a third theory. You know, I mean, like to explain some of this shit. The more urbanized the population is, the lower the fucking birth rates. Like the most urbanized populations on Earth have the lowest birth rates.
I mean, that's part of it. I mean, some of it can be explained too. Is it's just expensive to live. People don't want to have more kids because they cost fucking money.
Well, I showed like Singapore, Puerto Rico, Thailand. And I mean, these are places. You know, I mean, it's North Korea. South Korea, fucking Japan.
Oh, it's like North Korea. It's like they don't have any control over their reproductive rights in North Korea.
Yeah, Liechtenstein, like places that are all, you know, I mean, fucking Venezuela, places that like everybody lives inside of a city, right? They end up having no kids because kids are a luxury item inside of a city as compared to like when you're in, you know, I mean, outside of the city, you know, living on a farm or in the suburbs. Kids are much easier to have. They're less of a luxury item at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guilty. I don't want to have children, but I have good reasons.
I think you'd be a good dad, though.
I guess everybody does. I'm sure I would, because when I have to do something, which is when you have a kid, right? You have to do that. Like, I'll be good at it, but if I don't have to, I'm not going to do it. So
I feel you. I don't know.
I'm a dude. I can have a kid in like 4 years and be everything be cool.
Yeah.
By then I'll make enough money and have enough money that, like, some 28-year-old with no kids would actually be down, because at that point, if they're going to be looking for somebody that's going to take care of them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, 28-year-olds are iffy too. So's 30 at this point. Like, it's
I mean, I don't necessarily want to fuck with them, but I'm all right. I'm all right if a bitch marries me and has kids just for my money. That's fine.
Yo, fucking yeah. I don't know, man. Like, legit. Fucking yeah, but like, I came up with my own theory. You know what I mean? Like, urbanization isn't my own theory, but like, it's something that I've heard a whole bunch of times, and I fucking checked it out, and then come to find out there's a lot of correlation between the two. But like, I'm still going to be a militant anti-plastic seat person. I think we should get rid of all plastic seats in America. Yo, and Tennessee Marine, the world's not kind of shitty. The world's way better than it's ever been. You know what I mean? In the history of the world, you never had a better world to live in. Legit. Like, it's never been safer or better. Like, check this out. Here's a stat that fucked me up when I was reading it earlier. Only 57 children's lives were saved by car seat laws in all of 2017. Right? That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know how you measure that, but car crash anyway, like, people dying in car crashes, especially kids, is fairly rare.
Nah, I've actually seen like quite a few car crashes where the kids died. You know what I mean?
I'm sure you have. I'm saying, like, in the grand scheme of things, it's fairly rare.
I don't know. Like, I feel like car crashes are becoming like a much worse type of thing.
Jesus Christ. I was actually just looking at this yesterday. What? I got really fucking bored and started pulling out the death numbers. Because did you see that article that was going around that got yeeted from Johns Hopkins University about COVID-19?
I did. I heard Tim Pool did a fucking thing on that. I listened to it earlier.
Unfortunately, this is one place where I can actually say her analysis is flawed. I have the data. I can probably fucking pull it up on. Oh no, I can't, because we're on your channel.
Yeah, man. You see, I'm using OBS today. Like, oh shit, man. I had a good internet connection.
I don't have a way to share it besides screenshots, but I guess I can send ones that I was replying.
Yeah, look, man. I'm not gonna go through all that right now. Like, I'm thankful. I'm thankful my computer's not burning itself down at the moment.
It's real fucking simple. And if I send you this graph, you'll see where she fucked up. So she took the peak deaths in 2018. She took that peak time and lined it up with the peak time of our peak COVID deaths. The problem is see where those red arrows are? That's the time of year we normally expect our peaks. So they were all there. Like, everything spiked up during that time, and then COVID-19 happened and shit spiked up again, right? So there was a second spike. So she was comparing that when other causes of death are already trending downward, usually. She was comparing that to prior year peaks, where they would have been, like, by April they would have been trending downward anyway. That's what I'm getting at. Like, you can't take this new April peak and compare it to the normal January peak and say, oh, but we should have expected everything to peak in April. That's just not true. So that's where the analysis was fucked up. And gotcha. I understand why they pulled it, because I mean, she might have had reasons to believe that everything would rise with COVID too. I'm not a doctor, but I can look at the data and just tell you that logically you can't make that comparison.
Well, I'm working on getting
something happened.
Yeah, I'm working on getting an interview with a female who was fired from her job as a nurse over at the hospital because fucking she told the family that the dude didn't actually die of COVID, even though the hospital fucking like tried to say he did, right, on the fucking death certificate or whatever. And like, because the family was all losing their shit, or you know what I mean, the whole nine.
There's certainly miscategorizations going on. So
yeah. He came out. Did you see the things he came out putting in the general? Yeah, look in the general real quick. Fucking he tagged me in it, but it says he pulled the top 10 in urban percentage plus about 15 more from the top half to make this. And there's only 4 countries in the whole world who are fucking in the top urban fucking percentage who are above replacement.
So above replacement is over
2.1 actually, technically, right? So you know, I mean,
I thought it had to be even higher than that. I thought it was like 2.75,
2.1, 2.8, 2.1's replacement, right?
Yeah, no, but I thought it had. Really? That doesn't make sense to me because
that just means don't happen anymore.
I would say that just means like once the parents die, then as long as they had 2 kids, then they've replaced themselves. The thing is a
couple, and then like a few people have 3. You know what I'm saying? So like you're fucking good.
Well, I would say people die at like a higher rate than that. That's why I said like you would have to be over 2.
Yeah, it's like it's 2.1. I mean, like we don't die that often in peacetime, and I mean because it's not like a war. But yeah, so it's like 2.1. So like I'm saying there's 4 countries in the whole world who are on the top of the urbanization, right? And fucking have a birth rate above replacement. Out of, you know, I mean, whatever, like there's 20 or 30 fucking dots there. All of them are below replacement. So,
how many of those cities are predominantly white?
Or countries. White? I don't fucking know. I have no idea which ones he fucking pulled. But like you know what I mean? Like you look at Wikipedia and look at the top.
God damn it, dude. Just fucking add the country to the key.
Yo, look, all right, he did a good job just in doing this. I couldn't fucking figure out how to make that shit, right? But like, yeah, so
graphs are hard.
Yeah, graphs are difficult, right? They're a pain in the dick, especially when Microsoft Excel keeps asking me to pay to use it. But like, yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at. Like all the top countries, as far as like, you know, I mean, fucking, you know, urban percentage is concerned, like, you know, they're pretty much all below fucking replacement, and that tends to be how it operates. Right, so you know that's kind of where I'm at. Like fucking people who live inside like countries that have massive amounts of people who live in cities don't have fucking kids. You know what I mean? And even countries you wouldn't think of. You know what I mean? Oh fucking hello, Wrench No State, Fat Andy. What up, my brother? How the fuck you doing, man? Nice to see you the fuck out here. Goddamn, trying to see anybody else fucking join. Dark Star's out this bitch. What up, man? Dark Star, fucking yeah. I feel bad you're living out there in fucking Washington. That's fucking terrible. Fat Andy, you missed like most of the show, to be perfectly honest with you. You know what I mean? Like fucking, I wanted to do about an hour and a half, something like that. You know, get shit wherever.
I'm just off work today and happened to see that you were live. I actually did try to go Black Friday shopping, and I went to that liquidator store I always talk to you about, where I get good deals on shit, and then like on Black Friday, like even everything's already marked down 25%, and then they mark it down another 20%. Yeah, it wasn't that busy at all, but they also didn't have shit in stock. I guess that makes sense, right? Like at this point, all the businesses that would normally be liquidating shit went out of business.
Well, yeah, and not only that, like fucking I don't know, man. Like I just been shopping the fuck online, to be perfectly honest with you. So that's kind of
get used to it. It's easier. Funny enough, online shopping is such a man thing because we already know what the fuck we want, and we don't even necessarily need it right now. So get online. It's cheaper.
And I'll be real, like, you know, fucking like my kids, like if my kids need shit, I just send it to them because it's fucking so much easier just to fucking mail it to fucking places. You know what I mean? And like fucking go shopping and then come the whole way to fuck back. You know what I mean? Here's the chart, you know what I'm saying? We were talking about earlier, right? This is the chart that fucking TK Mal made in Discord. All right, so fertility rate, Fat Andy is 2.1, my brother. 2.1 is the fucking replacement fertility rate. There's 4 countries on this entire fucking chart that are at replacement, right? or above it. And even being at like 2.4 is not good, right? Legit down. He's like 2.4, 2.3. I don't know which one that is. But this is amount of percentage of population that is living inside of urban areas, up to 100%, right? So these are the top countries right here, and all of them are below replacement rate.
This is why we keep bringing in all the Mexicans, because we need our population to grow at a rate that'll pay for our Social Security and Medicare benefits in the future. But they don't make enough money to actually cover that. So me and Tom P, we're not getting any Social Security.
Well, here's the other half of this as well, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, listen, like, we try to be chill out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? 3.5 is not replacement level, my brother. Fucking, I just wanted to put that out there too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been fucking studying this shit for a while. Oh, but the Mexicans, and here's the thing, right? Here's my problem. This is where, you know what I'm saying, like, fucking, I get my mentality, because I figured out back in like 2008, 2009, the reason for the Mexicans and the reasons do we have an overseas fucking manufacturing is not for freedom of trade, right? It's not because companies make money. What it's for is so that they stand here, and like what they can do is they can fucking keep down prices, and they can keep printing money for shit. Right? Actually, I'm gonna leave that right there. There we go. That'll work. Fucking hell yes. Right? And they can keep down prices and keep printing money for stuff. And that's an important fucking thing for them to be able to do, because as long as they can keep the prices down, you can keep printing money and paying people the same wages. That way they can keep buying shit.
You're hiding the inflation by reducing your baseline cost, which would reduce the cost of any company regardless.
Yeah.
Right. Like, some things you think like you're not paying, like it's not inflating because, you know, you pay about the same price for, like, just think technology, shit like that, right? How much?
No. Even easier. No. Think, your fruit and vegetables have not gone up in price at all in like 30 years. Right. That's the one you like, you know what I mean, that you're going to look, because you buy that every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I can also point towards the fact that we've been exponentially better at farming, and funny enough, GMOs help a shit ton with those kind of yields.
Well, it's not just that; it's also the fact that labor is kept down.
Yeah, because we Mexicans pick it for us.
Yeah, I mean, and on top of that, they do the transportation. The factories that used to stand here and, you know what I mean, produce all your meats, you know what I mean, like all the cuts and hamburgers and steaks and chops and fucking roast and all that bullshit. They used to actually stand here and have a lot of black labor, because they were in places like North Carolina and things of this nature, right? And they were unionized black labor, and they had, you know what I mean, really decent jobs, and there was building middle classes and things of this nature. And, you know what I mean, that's kind of the fucking deal. Like, they ended up like sourcing it out to Mexicans. They literally advertise in Mexico, right, for workers, and then ship them up by fucking bus. No, and yeah. Mexico only has fucking, Mexico's down at 1.8 with us. Like, fucking, they're fucked too.
That reminds me of the Tyson, or was it Tyson? It was some chicken plant that was giant that got raided, and like basically their entire workforce was illegal immigrants.
Well, they feed them bus.
They had to go. Well, they had to go hire the local workforce, and they were interviewing them, and everybody they got interviewed was black, and was like, "Man, I feel bad for the people that left, but it really is nice to have a job for a change."
Right. And I
mean, like everybody they interviewed was black that took the jobs. I was like, maybe that's part of the reason black unemployment's at an all-time low.
That's kind of the deal, right? That's really where shit's the fuck at, you know. And this is important for everybody to understand. Like, I learned about this fact from what the fuck is that thing? Oh, from fucking Food Inc. Remember Food Inc., the documentary?
Yeah.
Right? In Food Inc., they actually had a part where they stood there and they said literally all of the fucking workers at these fucking Tyson plants and Smithfield plants down south were all fucking Mexicans. And what they do is they will feed ICE a bus like once a month in order to stand here and, you know what I mean, fucking keep operating. so they can keep bringing in illegals to do the fucking work, because it used to be done by white people and then it was done by black people, right? And all of them were union workers, right? And the black people fucking were union workers. They just fucking undercut the white people's pay. And, you know what I mean, it was building, you know what I mean, middle classes in both fucking areas, whatever. And they sat there and fucking did it all, gave it all to Mexicans, and they were paying Mexicans next to nothing. Hershey, believe it or not, does the same shit. Hershey legitimately were bringing in fucking immigrants from fucking overseas and, like, you know, fucking Sweden and whatever, right? And they were fucking bringing them in on student visas and having them work at the fucking Hershey plant and then kicking them out if they ever bitched about their fucking pay or wages.
Which most of them don't. I mean, I've seen how it works around here. Like, a lot of the times you get like 10 people living in one house, and they all work. Like, sometimes they're working fast food or something too, right? But they're just taking the US dollars and shipping them down back to Mexico, where, you know, their minimum wage job, that's actually a lot of money in Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, in Mexico, like, Mexico's moving up the value added chain as far as being able to manufacture and ship. The problem is the goddamn drug lords. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the narco economy.
Yeah, like that's the issue down there, is that has to fucking you know what I mean, like, goddamn disappear. I'm like, I have no problem with jobs going to Mexicans. I have an issue with Mexicans coming here and stealing our fucking shit. That's my fucking problem.
Damn, Mexicans used to have a problem with Mexicans coming here illegally.
They still do.
Like, yeah, I know a lot of them do. The Hispanic vote once again turned out in record numbers for Trump, and I'm sure that was on their mind. They were talking about the Cubans, and they also talked about the Cubans in Florida just being like, all the shit that the fucking far left is talking about, that sounds a lot like the shit that we lived through. Like,
well, the kids don't get it.
Just to see this country turn into the same bullshit that it used to. Yeah, of course not, because they get told that.
Well, like, you know, they didn't live through it. You know what I'm saying?
They get told that everything that happened in Cuba was the fault of American sanctions, and that Castro wasn't that bad. You just heard a lot of CIA propaganda about him. Sound familiar?
Yeah. Well, like, yo, Cast, here's the thing, right? Eventually, like, here soon, we're going to figure out, you know what I mean, that, like, all this is bullshit, right? Like, it's coming to a head. Like, we got about another 2-3 years, we're going to get to the point where America's no longer going to function financially, right? Altogether.
No, inflation's going to wipe a lot of people out in the future. And I've seen people that aren't Peter Schiff saying the same thing. Right, people that are probably more likely to say, okay, the U.S. can handle so much debt, but he's just looking at the charts and how the debt's just spiking, and knows that it's just printed money. And, like,
yeah,
there's only 3 ways for the government to pay for things, right?
Yeah, it's something like 30 or 40% of all U.S. dollars right now have been printed in the past, like, 7 months. Like, Things are not. And on top of that, how about this one? What happens when all these boomers start taking their money the fuck out of their retirements and spending it? Right? And it no longer just whooshing around the fucking system. Right? And there's no longer this massive glut of fucking money sitting in the economic system to be able to chase after yield and keep propping up this fucking market.
Well, and meanwhile, they're going to be collecting their Social Security checks that are also just going to be printed out,
right? I mean, like, that's
paying for that.
Yeah, everybody doesn't understand, like, the reasons why they print money into the market. The reason why they bail all these companies out is because everybody's waiting on a 401k, right? Like, yo, if you don't fucking take care of the 401ks and the pension funds, legit, you're gonna end up having, you know what I'm saying, fucking, like, all the local economies are gonna collapse. Like, yo, it is what it is. Right? Because, like, yo, who pays property taxes? Who owns property? Old people, right? Why? Because old people, you know what I mean? Like, yo, Nostradamus, welcome, my brother. Nice to see you out here, right? Yo, it's kind of the situation. What happens? You know what I mean? Legit, when they stand here and they get to this level where, you know what I mean, they're going, oh, well, you know, we can't, You know what I mean? Fucking like we can't keep paying cops, and we can't keep paying teachers, and we can't pay teachers pensions. We can't fund the education system. We can't fund your roads and bridges because all the individuals who took out 401ks and pensions aren't getting any fucking money, and they can't pay their property taxes.
We can't. I mean, we can't send out our fucking welfare checks either. These all go hand in hand, and it sounds really familiar. What happens in countries like Venezuela that come with these exorbitant social programs where the government's going to take care of and pay for everything? What happens when they run out of money? They just keep printing it. What happens when they keep printing it? Well, they debase the currency. What happens when that, you get hyperinflation, you have shortages, and then your population is starving in famine. Now, can I correct you?
Can I correct you about Venezuela?
Sure.
All right. Well, Venezuela, they base their fucking money off the oil, right? And so,
I know that.
When oil went back down, they were fucked.
This is not a correction. This is a amendum.
Yeah. Let me addend what the fuck you said and shit. You know what I mean? Legit, they base their money off of fucking oil, and then what the hell they do? Here's the real bitch about the government is they nationalized the fucking oil companies, and when they did so, they nationalized the oil companies, and they told the engineers that they couldn't get fucking paid. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So then you had government bureaucrats running the show, which let the infrastructure just rot to shit because they couldn't pay to keep that up and pay for everything else. So not only did the price of oil go down, but a good, well-run, market-driven business is going to deal with that in various ways, right? They're going to be able to lay people off, downsize, but also increase production to have more volume to sell and outbid your competitors, right? That's how a company in a free market stays alive. You can't do that when your entire national budget is based on this one thing.
All right, you can base your economy off of one thing, right? If you're exporting massive amounts of oil, it works for Saudi Arabia, right? That's all they do. They have nothing else but oil, right? It's fine. You can do it if you have, the proper price point to be able to maintain it. And you don't get tied into massive amounts of social contracts.
Yeah, if you just have guaranteed buyers, then the only people you're promising to pay money to are your fellow Saudi princes, while everybody else can fuck off and go drive a Ford Acura down the road.
Acura.
How many miles per hour? Or an Acura. Yeah, go drive their Acura down the road at 90 miles per hour, and then hit the e-brake and see what happens. That's
man,
what the rest of Saudi Arabia does.
I fucking miss the goddamn Saudi Arabian drift videos. I really do. Right. Fucking irate prostates here. What up, my brother? He said, that's why the green agenda is for a slush fund carbon offsets. That's a massive fucking retarded scheme. That's not going to work. Right, you just kill the goddamn businesses. They're fucking retarded. And not only that, what's going to happen is countries are going to lie, right? Because countries are relying upon their businesses. You know what I mean? Fucking Italy, they tried that shit with Italy. And what they did is fucking Italy said, fucking, what's a good number? Low? Our carbon offset is 1. Nobody's going to tell the truth. Nobody's going to give a fuck. And they're going to go, what are you going to do? You're going to sanction me with your army? Tell the UN to come here with their army. Oh, that's right. You don't have an army. Maybe you should shut the fuck up. Nigga, you keep talking that bullshit, you're gonna be in the fucking New York you're gonna be sitting on goddamn fucking Times Square selling hats, nigga. Fucking yeah. Don't worry about that carbon offset bullshit, because the only people who are gonna respect it are the individual countries who are gonna gain off of it, right? Like Germany and Sweden and fucking trying to think here, where the fuck Brussels and shit. Nobody's gonna fucking respect that shit. Holland, right? And nobody has any respect for these countries because they don't have militaries. And then what are they gonna do? You know what I'm saying?